So let's talk about racing on short tracks. Short tracks are typically tracks that are under 2 miles. Typically, the lap time is less than 90 seconds. Okay, they've got a lot of corners, typically back to back. Traffic is normally pretty frequent, and it's easy to get into a rhythm on a short track because everything happens so quickly. The big thing about short tracks, though, is that it's difficult to get away from opponents. So the big key on racing on short tracks is patience. Most folks, they go for gaps, but if they don't start on the front row, those gaps go nowhere. So they just end up right back in the same sort of thick traffic that they were forcing their way through. And then they end up in these terrible mishaps that are expensive and then let the leaders get away. When you're racing on a short track, patience is the most important thing. Just getting up to a smooth rhythm and not getting killed in like the first 2 minutes or so, right? Because most of the time, you just want to let cars kind of space themselves out just a little bit so that when we start getting some overlap and when we start making some moves, there's spacing in between so we can keep our momentum up. If you're battling when there's a huge pack around you, all you're really doing is slowing yourself and everyone down because there's nowhere to go. So while people are fighting you or defending or you're trying to make something work, it lets the leaders just eke away. And then you get back up to speed running the same pace as the leaders and you never catch them. Where if you can do your best to try to keep the pack flowing until someone else makes a mistake, you get most of your spots for free. And then you're only really battling like one or two cars most of the time, rather than whatever you think you're doing, battling everybody in the very beginning of a short track race, right? So, think about that when you're racing short tracks, is that it might seem fast and furious, but honestly, if you calm down, the race will come to you pretty quickly. Because most people will throw it away before the race even gets started. So let me know if there's some short tracks you really like to race. I like Tsukuba, I like Brands Hatch, I like Lime Rock, plenty of other tracks like that. But short tracks are some of my favorites because they're good like live fire exercises for battles. A lot of things happen on a short track relatively quickly. So there's always something to do.